Everything we've covered so far happens inside Claude's window. What you type, what you paste, what's in your project. But your actual work lives somewhere else. Your calendar, your repo, your documents, your company's systems. This part connects the two. Start on the whiteboard because the why matters here. Draw Claude in the middle. Around it, a circle. That's the context window, everything Claude can currently see. Outside the circle, your email, your files, a database, your team's knowledge base, the live web. By default, none of that is reachable. Claude is on an island. The only way information gets onto the island is you, copying and pasting it in. That works, but it doesn't scale. You can't paste your whole calendar. You can't paste a database. So Claude has 3 ways to build bridges off the island. 3 ways to reach real information without you couriering it by hand. Connectors, enterprise search, and research mode. One at a time, then we go live. First bridge, connectors. A connector links Claude to an external tool or data source. Your calendar, a project tracker, a code repository, a document store, through a standard protocol. Once a connector is added, Claude can actually use that tool inside the conversation. Not a copy of it, the real thing. Concretely connect your calendar and "What does my Thursday look like?" gets a real answer. Connect a document store and find our refund policy and summarize it means Claude goes and gets the actual document. The work crosses the bridge on its own. Here's adding 1. You go into settings, find connectors, pick the tool, and authorize it. The same permission step as connecting any app to any other app. Once it's on, Claude can call it mid-conversation. One honest note, a connector only gives Claude what you've allowed, and you should know what each one exposes before you turn it on. Treat it like granting an app a permission, because that is exactly what it is. There's a full episode later on connectors and the protocol behind them. Today, know they exist, and know they turn pasted in into Claude fetches it. Second bridge, enterprise search. If you use Claude through a company account, your organization can connect its internal knowledge, and then Claude can search across it. Instead of you knowing which system holds the answer, you ask Claude, and it looks across the connected sources for you. In practice, this feels like normal search, except the thing searching can also read, summarize, and reason over what it finds. Where did we land on the vendor decision stops being a hunt through 4 tools and becomes 1 question. This one depends on your organization having set it up. So if you're on a personal account, that's what the option is for when you see it. Third bridge, research mode. A normal Claude answer is 1 pass. Quick, conversational. Research mode is for when 1 pass isn't enough. You turn it on for a real question. Compare these 3 approaches and tell me the trade-offs. What's the current landscape for this? And instead of answering immediately, Claude runs an extended process. It searches multiple sources, works through the question in steps, and comes back with a structured, cited report rather than a paragraph. The trade-off, said plainly, research mode takes longer and does much more. You don't use it to reword an email. You use it when you'd otherwise open 15 tabs and lose an afternoon. The output reads like something a careful analyst handed you, with its sources attached so you can check the work. One last thing quickly, because these features look different depending on your job. A marketer's Claude is projects full of brand context and artifacts full of campaign drafts. An analyst's Claude leans on connectors and research mode. A developer lives in code. Same app, same handful of features. The course calls this use cases by role. The point, you don't need all of it on day 1. You need the 2 or 3 pieces that match your actual work, set up well. 3 bridges off the island. Connectors to plug Claude into the tools you already use. Enterprise search to ask 1 question instead of searching 4 systems. Research mode for the deep dives that used to eat an afternoon. That's the whole of Claude 101. Across 3 parts, you now have the entire app, the modes, the context features, and the connections. Next episode steps back to the bigger picture, a framework for working with AI well, effectively, and responsibly. Subscribe so you catch it. See you there.